It is Monday, July 1st. We are doing a special tape show. My guest today, she's a lass from Ireland, and she's on a special tour in the United States, and I was lucky enough to get an interview with her. Her name is Siobhan O'Brien, and please welcome my special guest today, Siobhan.
Thanks, Ginger.
It's wonderful. Thank you so much. And I want to give a shout to Greg Kelly, too, because Greg is the one that brought us together. And I was wonderful. I love, I'm Irish myself, and it's wonderful to help promote and meet other Irish.
Yeah, no, thanks a million for being here. I'm just thrilled. Like, it's just amazing.
Yes. So you're going to be doing a few songs for us today, and then after that, we're going to bring you over to the chair to talk a little bit about it so my audience can get to know who you are.
Okay.
And tell us a little bit about the songs that you're going to perform today.
I'm going to do 3 songs. The first one is with the harmonica. It's called My Man, which is about my man. And he died 10 years ago, so that's just about him, and I suppose it's a love song. And then I'm going to do a song called The Lakes of Ponchartrain, which everybody thinks is an Irish song, but I think it must have been, nobody knows who wrote it, and it must have been written down around New Orleans with the big lake called Ponchartrain. So, but a lot of Irish artists have covered it, Paul Brady and Christy Moore, and so I've just changed the gender in it. Some people don't like that, but you know, I am a girl. So, and then what am I going to do? I'm going to do a song called Austin Graham, which is a kind of a local legend in our town. My dad bought his first guitar off this man, and I learned to play guitar on that guitar, which was a Hofner guitar, which was the guitar that Johnny Cash used to use at the start. And this man, Austin, was a big, huge man, and he looked like Johnny Cash, and he sang songs, you know, country songs, and it was one of these little anecdotes that his daughter got pregnant in the 80s, which was kind of taboo, you know, even in the 90s it was taboo. But when he was told, you know, oh, she's going to have a baby, he said, oh, we could do a new face around here. So that was kind of the whole way that the song kind of goes. So anyway, let's see, this is called My Man. Shepherd man, my man, he's a fisherman, my man, he's a river man. I want to be with my man. My man, he's a hunting man, my man, he's a country man, my man loves his horses, man, he came from the land. I love Gabriel Byrne.
I'm crying.
Oh no!
I need a
Stop
tissue.
it.
Oh, I guess I should have.
I should have warned you. Actually, a lot of women really love that song.
I bet,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so this next song is called "The Lakes of Ponchartrain." I hope this doesn't break your heart. Was one fine March morning, amid New Orleans dew, and I took the road to Jacksontown, my fortune to renew. I cursed all foreign money, no credit could I gain, which filled my heart with a longing of the lakes of Ponchartrain. I stepped on board a railroad car beneath the morning sun, and I rode the rods till evening, and I laid me down again. All strangers there, no friends to me, till a dark boy towards me came, and I fell in love with my Creole boy by the lakes of Ponchartrain. I said to my handsome Creole boy, my money here's no good. If it weren't for the alligators, I'd sleep out here in the woods. You're welcome here, kind stranger, from such sad thoughts refrain. Mammy, welcome strangers by the lakes of Ponchartrain. He took me into his mother's house, treated me right well. The hair upon his shoulder in jet black ringlets fell, to try and paint his beauty, I'm sure to be in vain. So handsome was my Creole boy by the lakes of Ponchartrain. I asked him if he'd marry me, he said that ne'er could be, for he had got a lover, and she was far at sea. He said that he would wait for her, and true he would remain, till she'd return to her Creole boy by the lakes of Ponchartrain. So it's fare thee well, my Creole boy, I'll never see you more, and I won't forget your kindness in the cottage by the shore, and that each social gathering, a flowing bowl I'll drain, and I'll drink to the health of my Creole boy by the lakes of Ponchartrain, and I'll drink to the health of my Creole boy by the lakes of Ponchartrain. This is called Austin Graham, about this man from where I'm from, Limerick in Ireland. There lives a man in our town. Statuesque man comes around. He's big and strong, a sort of King Kong, gentle as a lullaby song. He is what some might say. Legend in his time, he's bound for painting, sketching, righting life's wrongs, and a life of singing country songs. Looks like Johnny, talks like Johnny, sings like Johnny too, wears like Johnny, smiles like Johnny. I remember once he called unannounced. My brother got scared and said, "Who are you?" He said, "I'm Johnny Cash. Haven't you heard? Be a good boy and don't say a word." He looks like Johnny, talks like Johnny, sings like Johnny too, wears like Johnny, smiles like Johnny, and he plays a Hofner too. He took everything in his stride, never one to run or hide, like the news he was about to become a granddaddy so young. All he could say with a grin to one side was, "We could do with a new face round here. Looks like Johnny, talks like Johnny, sings like Johnny too, wears like Johnny, smiles like Johnny, even plays a Hofner too. Looks like Johnny, talks like Johnny, sings like Johnny too, wears like Johnny, smiles like Johnny, even plays a Hofner too."
Welcome back to the Ginger New York TV show. We have a special taping today because I have a new Irish cousin visiting from Ireland. Yes, and I made sure that we did a special taping for her today while she is in the United States on a tour. And you're going to learn about her music, and her upcoming tour.
Good to have me. Thanks a million, Ginger.
Siobhan O'Brien.
Yes, that's me.
Oh, wonderful. We got to meet because of Greg Kelly introducing us, and I'm so happy.
Does everybody in New York know who Greg Kelly is?
He knows all the Irish girls, that's for sure. And so it's really nice that, you know, we've been planning this interview for quite some time, and because you're here now for a U.S. tour. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about that
Okay,
tour
so
here.
I arrived 2 days ago, and I'm doing 5 nights in New York. I'm in the Path Cafe tonight. That's in Christopher Street, isn't it? And then tomorrow's Cafe Vivaldi, all down the village. So, and then one with Michael Brunick, another Irish songwriter, on Wednesday night. So, really looking forward to all those. It's
Wednesday
great.
night is at Rockwood Music Hall. Very good.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I like hanging out there.
Yeah, I'm dying to see it. Yeah.
Yes, it's a really nice music venue.
Yeah,
and,
cool.
and I've met some other artists that I've had here on the show.
Oh, cool.
Nice acoustics and very intimate.
Yeah,
place.
it's nice that when there's a kind of a respect for that, you know. It's just cool.
Yeah, that's great.
Not like an Irish pub where everyone's just
eating peanuts and
no, they could be throwing them too.
So you grew up in Limerick,
Yes, yeah.
Ireland. Where is that?
That's in the south. It's on the Shannon. It's on the mouth of the Shannon River, which is the longest river in Ireland. So it is a port still, you know, but it used to be, you know, back in the Viking days. That's why they would have landed there. And we've got castles, and you know, it's pretty historic, you know. So yeah, so I grew up there, lived there still, and just like to travel.
Good for you. And are you from a musical family?
Yeah, I am kind of fourth generation music. My great grandparents on my mother's side were travelling opera singers, and they were, they had the Boyer Westwood Opera Company. So they originated in Blackpool in Lancashire in England, and they would have travelled to all the English-speaking parts of the world, which meant South Africa, Australia, you know, and all that. So which I only really realised recently, and I was thinking, my God, how do they do that? Because that was in the turn of the century, you know, it was like, or maybe 1910 or whatever around then, but God, it was hard, you know. So, and then they had my grandfather, they'd only one child, and that's my mom's father, and he was a conductor and an organist, and in the 50s they kind of he would have been the entertainment before the film came on in the cinema, and he'd come up out of a riser, you know, the big organ. But yeah, so that was my grandfather, and then he had my mother, and her older brother is Brendan Boyer, he'd be very well known in Ireland. He was a show band star in the 60s. And he still gigs and performs now, and he lives in Las Vegas. So, and then there's like me. And
what a beautiful voice. I really enjoyed listening to you, and I was crying during your first show.
I know, I can't believe that.
I hope that didn't get caught on camera, but if it does, you know, you're going to be seeing me crying. But no,
I think
we're
just
touching.
Women are emotional people. You know,
yeah,
so.
and it, you know, and it really, when you have a love for someone and he's gone, you know, it's tough.
Yeah.
That's very good, but beautiful songs, beautiful
Thank you.
sing, wonderful voice. So that's what I was wondering, you know, because I've always wanted to sing and dance and play guitar, and I just always wondering if a person's ever too old, you know, to like learn those kind of things.
No, God, I'm hoping I learn way more things. I want to do loads of things, you know. So sometimes I kind of wish that like you could just stop, you know, and go to an island and just learn all the things you want to learn. And but that's not reality, is it? Like, so no, never too old, never.
Okay.
My mother released her first CD at 60.
Did she really?
Yeah,
oh, that's inspiring.
Yeah, I hope I inspired her, because I was doing it before her. Yeah, hopefully.
That's great.
Yeah.
So where else are you touring here in the United States?
I'm going to Washington D.C. and Virginia, around there next on the 4th of July. On a train. I can't wait for the train journey. And then I'm going to Oklahoma. I'm going to make a video for one of my songs, which is called Indians, which is about Native Americans. So that's in the heart of Indian country there, which is great. And J.D. Thompson will be he makes videos, and he's a friend of mine. So I've never been there, so I'm really looking forward to something really different that I've never seen before, which that's you know, that's the exciting part. And then I go to San Francisco, and then I go to Oregon. So it's just 4 weeks all shoved together.
Good for you, and you get to see the country. Are you driving?
Oh, yeah.
Or
no, I don't think I could do the driving now. I drove in South Dakota when I stayed with my friend Rain.
I have family in South Dakota.
But that's fine, because there's nothing on the road. There's no way
100 miles
I could,
to drive anywhere.
Oh my God, I couldn't do it in New York, definitely not.
Oh.
I'd be freaked out. I couldn't, there's just no way.
Yeah.
And then Americans, when they come to Ireland, they think, how do you drive here? I'm like, oh God, it's nothing like in your cities anyway, you know, but it's different for everyone.
I was
it's what
driving
you're used to, isn't it?
I was driving with a friend of mine who's originally from Italy. She's just been here under a year, and she's fine with driving here in the city, but we had a GPS, but we got lost because we were talking too much, and then we realized we were going down the George. I know. We were headed to the George Washington Bridge, and I said, I know we're in the wrong direction. We need to be going east, not west.
And that's the other thing I keep saying to everyone, how do you know where east is and west is? We don't go by that, but it's lovely, it's nice, you know.
Yeah. How did you first get involved with music? Was it, I guess it was, you know, your family, right?
I suppose there was always music around. My father would be a huge music fan, and he would be musical, and he started playing guitar, and, you know, used his guitar when I started playing first. And it was his record collection that I kind of just would always be putting records on all the time. And he had a huge, diverse range, you know, so I listened to everything, like jazz, folk, blues, country, everything, you know, it was just literally everything in it. And I think that's what's really helped me kind of get some way original, because a lot of people, I think, and especially for kids who are just hearing only pop music on the radio, they don't know that there's another side or another 50,000 sides to music out there, you know, and it's hard, because if they don't have somebody there who's directing them, you know, it's you're just being, it's tunnel vision. So
I was talking to a previous guest, and she said she loves the Beatles music, and I always thought it's unusual, you know, for someone, a younger generation, you know, in their 20s.
I love to hear that. When I hear that, I go, yes, but I'm so happy that they know who the Beatles are.
And she said her father, when she was reading when she was learning piano, her father always got her Beatles music to learn on, and it was more for him, she thought. But she really
still, they're lovely songs to be doing, because I remember starting playing piano, and it was boring tunes, and you're like, oh God, I don't want to be doing this, you know. So I didn't stick at that. So, but once I got the guitar, I was 16 really. It was older, you know. But once I had it, 4 months later I started writing. So it was obviously that was my thing, you know. I just needed something to help, I suppose. And I was one of these people who thought, I'll never write a song. Those people that write songs, they're so amazing. How do they do it? You know. It's like never say never.
That's great. And what type of music is your style? You know, is it?
Well, I still think that it's
country,
folk rock.
Folk
rock. I still think it's that. I mean, Americana is so broad. I really don't think I am that, because I think it's mostly based in country, but they wouldn't define it as that. It's based in roots music. And I mean, I would be based in roots music, which is, you know, folk, country, blues, jazz. You know what I mean? They're roots music. So I don't know. But it's funny, one of the reviews for my latest album called Siobhan O'Brien, he says, oh, the genre gymnastics that were going on. So I thought, okay. So that's basically all my influences coming in, you know, which is nice. Yeah.
So you have 2 CDs, and one is just recently released.
Yes, I just launched it in my hometown in May before I came out. Yeah.
Wonderful. And so you're playing a lot of that music on your tour here?
Yeah, oh yeah. And that's why I want to do these songwriter gigs, you know, so that you can expose the music to that, because I did a lovely gig in the Scratcher Sessions last night. It's just, you know, there's only a few people there, but it's just everyone's listening, and they're there just for one purpose, you know, and it's really nice. It's really nice.
I should attend one of those.
You should come to the Rockwood Music Hall
on
Wednesday.
I've written it down on my calendar.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's great that you're here in New York City, because I've listened to your music, you know, on YouTube and through your website. And so wonderful. You have a very pure voice.
Thank you. Thanks.
And I support the Irish, being Irish myself.
Cool. Broderick is very Irish.
Who are some of your musical influences outside of your family?
Well, probably the great songwriters, you know, and then I like a lot of female artists, you know, obviously. But then, you know, Joni Mitchell is just a goddess.
Isn't she wonderful? Yeah.
Then I suppose Bob Dylan and Neil Young, Leonard Cohen, and then it's hard to find new artists now that you can really, you know, hold. It's the icons, the iconic stuff is kind of gone, I think, you know. So, but yeah, just great songwriters. I mean, you can always learn from them, you know.
And you even actually got to meet Bob Dylan.
I did, yeah.
Tell us about that.
Oh, that's when I used to be a stalker. Well, we were at the same hotel that he was staying in. It was 20 years ago, and I fully intended to go up and meet him. I just innocently thought, I'm just going to go up and meet him and just give him the tape, and that's the way it's going to happen. And I think just because I was so naive about it, it actually happened. So I saw him coming out of the hotel, and I just said, oh, hi, Bob, can I give you a tape? I don't want to annoy you, I'll go away, I just want to give you a tape. And he was having none of it, and he was pulling the hood over his face, going, no, don't want to be talking to her. So I said it again, and he wasn't interested, and then I went, hey, look it, I sing. I think I stamped my foot. And he said, well, sing for me, so I sang, Babe, I'm gonna leave you, tell you when I'm gonna leave you. It's an old Negro spiritual. And he said, sing another verse. So, he, you know, I don't know, he liked it. And I suppose he knew the song too. And he said, let's walk this way. So we walked up and down Lansdowne Road, which was in Dublin. And I was singing him these songs the whole time because when I'm in a conversation with somebody and if a word comes up and it's in a song and I know the song, I'll start singing the song. So that's kind of what happened. And he just thought that was great crack. And yeah, then I was teaching him Irish and we walked to the gig and he brought me into the gig and then I sang a verse of The Fox Went Out on a Chilly Night. And he said, hey, maybe you'll sing that with me. And I went, oh, no. I don't know all the verses. And he goes, maybe you will, maybe you won't, and that's okay too. He was lovely, you know, he was really nice. Like,
How long ago was this?
It was about 20 years ago, yeah.
It's a great story.
So I mean, that's only the tip of the iceberg. He brought me along and brought me up to the side of the stage and had me sing for all the people at dinner later on. And
anybody else at that dinner? Yeah.
Well, yeah, there was Bono from U2 and Edge from U2, and there was Chrissy Hind and Elvis Costello, Carter Reardon, who used to be the bass player in the Pogues. So yeah, he told them he just met me and will you just sing for them? So
how exciting!
I sang a Harry Chapin song.
Wow,
yeah.
That's great.
So he was very nice to me. Yeah,
that's great.
It was nice for your confidence, you know, when you're starting out to kind of get.
Oh, someone especially on that level.
Yeah,
you know
really nice, really nice.
Want anybody to approach them, or they usually have bodyguards around them.
Oh, I'm sure. Like, yeah. So,
what are your favorite places to travel? You mentioned earlier in the conversation that you like to travel.
Oh yeah, I think I just love coming back here all the time. Now I have family here. I stay with cousins in California, and I have more cousins in Oregon where I'm going to. But it's just such a beautiful country. Like, but I would love to I'd love to just see the weather in Ireland. It's just always raining. It's always raining. And now with all these, you know, global warming, the whole it's always raining even more. Wow. But I would love to have, you know, 4 seasons, and I'd love to live out in a mountain somewhere and make baskets and keep bees.
That's right. You were talking before the show. You wanted to be a beekeeper.
Definitely going to be a beekeeper. Definitely going to do that. Yeah, definitely.
I'd be so afraid of getting stung.
Oh, no, it wouldn't bother me in the slightest.
But people have a science to it and such.
Yeah,
and then you always have your own honey. That's great.
Oh, that's because I'm a big honey fan. Because I try not to have sugar, but I love honey.
Yeah. We're coming to a close of the show. Can you imagine? Time goes so quickly. I feel like you're Irish, you know, family. Well, you are.
Well, you're welcome anytime.
I haven't been to Ireland actually. So many of my family members have, but
you'll have to come.
I've been always in New York. I don't travel that much, but I do try to.
Do you have a passport?
Yes, I do.
You're one of those Americans that has a passport.
I know.
All the Irish have passports.
I went to France about 3 years ago.
Oh, lovely.
And that was the first time in probably 20 years that I went abroad.
Okay.
Yeah, so
it's
I'm
hard,
trying
though.
to do
It's
a little
hard
bit
to do
more.
it, yeah.
I've had a lot of responsibilities here, but I'm trying to do them. So do you have any advice that you offer to people, you know, when young girls that are coming up or
just do it. Just do it. Just do it. And I think it's easier for people because, you know, like before people say, oh no, go to college and do this and do that. And you're thinking, no, I knew at 16 I wanted to do this. And I went on to France doing au pair when I was 18 and I saw Tracy Chapman for the first time and I nearly I couldn't believe it. I just said, I wrote to my father and wrote him a letter and I said, I'm going to be a singer for the rest of my life. And every time I go, I can't do it anymore, it's too hard, I'm just so sick of it. He'd just always say, well, where's that letter now? You know, so just do what you have to do. Do what you need.
What's in your heart.
What's in your heart, you know, be true to yourself.
I think that's really important too. When I moved here by myself, there was no stopping me because I knew if I didn't do it, I would.
Well, that's the thing. If you turn around later on and go, I never kept bees, you know. So you do have to go with your heart. I think, you know.
That's a great advice. Great advice. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks a million, Ginger, for having me.
And tell us
delighted to be here.
Thank you. And tell everybody where they can find you again.
SiobhanO'Brien.com. SIOBHAN O'Brien. I'm sure you can spell O'Brien. It's just the Siobhan is, you know, BH is a V sound in Irish.
Okay.
So yeah, SiobhanO'Brien.com, and I suppose Facebook. You can get me on Facebook.
Very good. We look forward to seeing you later this week in New York City.
Cool.
Yes, and then I'm sure you'll come back and always stop in the show.
Sure.
Yeah, whenever you want.
Thanks
That's
a million
wonderful.
for having me.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks
so
very
much.
much, Ginger.
Good luck with everything.
Thank you. Thanks. So this is called Guilty of Despair. I'm going to do it especially for Ginger. And it's for, you know, just don't give up and always have some hope. Okay. Is that what they want me to do? Give up, have no hope, they don't know that I'm guilty of despair. My faith that I've had for the bones of 30 years, it's my first time questioning. It's betraying me guilty of despair. Yes, I know that I'm guilty of despair. Remarkably, I've remained quite calm. The fight's gone for me, I could give in, but I know I'll be guilty of despair. Only in its limited edition have I tasted love. Only in its limited edition, isn't that it?